Let's see. I'll just add Tom as a speaker.
Yeah, I can't believe that, man. That the Clemson being ranked above us is what kills.
Oh, it was absolute abomination. I mean, just was.
How's it going, guys?
Hey, Derek. We're just sitting here talking about the abomination that was the college football playoff rankings this week.
Oh, yeah.
Because people are going to say it doesn't matter, and this is a made-for-TV event. But look who Ole Miss has to jump over to make the playoffs.
Yeah, and there is plenty of teams we got to get over there. I still think, I mean, it's kind of a long shot, I guess, but I mean, if Ole Miss's path doesn't change, though, I mean, you still have to win out, hope for an LSU loss, and then you got to beat Georgia in the SEC championship. I mean,
yeah, the only way Ole Miss makes the playoff now is an SEC championship.
Oh yeah.
The only way I think the only way LSU goes to the playoff is an SEC championship.
Yeah, totally.
Alabama is out of the SEC championship; they're done. So it's basically a Tennessee-Georgia situation with the playoff, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, us and LSU are the only two with the shot to make it from the West now.
Well, Alabama technically does.
But I mean, yeah, if we want to go down that road.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you're looking for Arkansas and A&M both to spring upsets.
Yeah, they're not eliminated.
No, not mathematically.
I just did the playoff ranking reaction show. Did you guys see that?
No, I hadn't.
It was pretty good. I had fun on that one. Just losing my mind at Clemson, and the other ones like Clemson just got housed by Notre Dame.
Hey, that's what I'm about to say. That's the biggest travesty of the entire rankings is Clemson being ranked over us. They have no business being ranked over Ole Miss.
Yeah, it's all about the name.
And the justification was the fact that they ranked Notre Dame. So it was a ranked loss.
Yeah, I hear you. Well, ours is a pretty good ranked loss too.
Yeah. Oh, it's just and our Kentucky win should get more credence because they're ranked now.
Yeah, you're right. But no, that's just not how it goes with them, man. It's all about the name, and right now, surely that doesn't last a lot longer, right? I mean, Clemson's obviously not what they used to be at this point, right?
They're trying to save the ACC because if Texas beats TCU, the Big 12 is going to be out. And they just want, because Clemson's probably going to run the table in the ACC because that conference isn't good.
No, it's not.
And that gives them hope that it's just not an SEC Big Ten invitational tournament.
Well, look, that's all it should be anyway.
Yeah.
Is an SEC Big Ten tournament.
Yeah. But, hey, the biggest benefit that I've seen was the fact that LSU needs to win the SEC to go to the playoff probably. It's the fact that they're likely going to the Cotton Bowl and Tulane is there. The battle for the rag is there in the New Year's Six, and I am so here for that game.
Man, that would be an absolute circus down there if those two met in the Cotton Bowl.
Oh my goodness! If they talk about Ole Miss drinking Dallas dry when they went in 2008, there would be no alcohol within like 7 counties of Dallas.
Yeah. I was there in 2008. I did my part on that.
Yeah, me too. I was there as well.
Nice.
That was really fun. That was actually my first trip to Texas, I think.
Yeah, it was mine too.
Yeah. So Locked On is putting clips on the website from my reaction show stuff today, and the first one they put up says why Ole Miss should be number 9 in the college football playoff rankings. And I was like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, that is valid.
Yeah, Alabama's lost twice.
Alabama's lost twice. Our only loss is on the road to what you're telling me is the number 7 country.
Yeah. without Zach Evans. I don't think people talk about that enough.
Yeah, that's a big thing. Like you even look at it against A&M, as limited as he was, you saw the big chunk plays he was able to get, just giving Q a rest because of the differentiation of styles between those two, right? I mean, he in any other offense, he would be the hands down, no questions asked, featured back, and that's what he was coming into the year for us too. We just ended up having this insane freshman that we can't take off the field.
By the way, tomorrow's show, I actually give mention to Glenn Davis and Doc Blanchard and Mr. Inside and Mr. Outside, and call Zach Evans and Quinshon Judkins Mr. Inside, Mr. Outside 2.0. I'm proud of the football history on that one.
Yeah, if we I'm telling you guys right now, Zach Evans is going to be the healthiest he's been in weeks Saturday, and he's going to tote the rock too.
Yeah, well, he's gonna have to, because Alabama's going to pinch down and concentrate on those inside runs from Quinshon Judkins. That's going to happen. I mean, the outside in space, Zach Evans is going to be a major play, and his ability to make the first man miss and make plays, I mean, we'll stay on the field because of that.
Yeah, I mean, really, when you think about it, I mean, it would really benefit us as much as we're struggling with not only the tight end but finding that consistent fourth receiver. Just use Zach Evans, put him in the slot, motioning around, stuff like that. Use him for jet sweeps, keeping the linebackers honest on the outside, handing it inside to Quinshon, get it outside to Zach Evans. Have both of them on the field at the same time, and just really put the pressure on them to stop them.
Yeah, I think this is the game that we see 21 personnel.
Totally agree.
Mm-hmm.
I think you have to do it.
We're going to see a lot of swing passes. We're going to see a lot of
screens.
I think Jackson Dart is going to have a huge game Saturday.
This is why he was recruited. If we didn't want to win this game, Luke Altmaier would be the quarterback right now. Jackson Dart was recruited for this game.
Yep.
Well, cause that's how you attack Alabama, right?
Mm-hmm.
You sit there and, like, with us, we're going to sit there and try to run. You know, that's always going to be our first thing. But then we got to be able to hit the deep shot. We got to be able to take advantage of them downfield. That's been the MO against Alabama for the last several years. And, you know, Jackson's going to have to hit those kind of plays to keep that defense a little bit honest, keep those safeties back. And but that running game, kind of to your point all year, Stephen, is working off of those play actions, keeping those linebackers up, attack that middle of the field a little bit more, right?
Mm-hmm. Because you have to against Alabama.
You have to.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll finally listen to Bill Flowers this week.
You would think so. What video did they put up on this one? They also just put another clip up. Why Ole Miss versus Alabama will determine SEC standings. Yeah, I guess that's right. I'm not responsible for titling these videos, so. But the main thing I think did was, like, I did talk about how the SEC championship's going through Fayetteville, but not how you think.
Yeah, completely agree. These next 2 weeks in Fayetteville are pretty big.
Yeah, absolutely massive. And by kickoff of the Alabama game, everything could be in front of Ole Miss.
I know, man. I've searched high and low, try to find me a dang hog hat to get shipped in here before kickoff on Saturday. Ain't been able to come up with nothing yet, but I'm still looking.
Yeah, it's absolutely nuts, because for some reason, if Arkansas could pull the slight upset, because I think they're only underdogs by like a point or two.
Yeah, that's kind of what's so weird about this, though. Like, it actually made me feel better when the lines came out, because Vegas doesn't put those lines out for no reason. They're not going to put it out there for people to make a bunch of money, right? And when I saw what that line opened up at, I thought, oh my God, they know something. It was the same thing with Georgia and Tennessee last week.
98% of the money was on Tennessee, and Vegas
and the line just kept going up.
Yeah,
kept going up, and just me thinking about football, making a football bet on it. Tennessee was the play. And I was talking to my brother and got a bunch of other friends, that gamble a little bit too. And all of them were on Tennessee. And me and my brother are like, look, man, they don't do this for no reason. They're not in this to lose money. I said, I'm taking Georgia on this one, just because of the line movement, because it didn't make any sense. And it's the same thing with Arkansas and LSU. I actually told them that earlier this week when that line came out. They said, why is LSU only 2.5 3-point favorites? I said, I don't know. I said, but you better hammer Arkansas because they know something.
Yeah, because they want you to place the bet.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, not only that, they want money 50-50 basically. They're going to sit there and make their money off everybody's juice. That's how they make their money. They don't make it off of people betting 90-something% on one side. I mean, that gives them the opportunity to really lose their tail on the game, and that's not why they're in the business.
Yeah. Sometimes that happens.
Yeah,
but LSU,
it does.
The thing that happens is they know that LSU is being congratulated all week on winning the SEC West.
Yeah.
And now they have 2 road games.
I just think LSU is going to have a really hard time getting back up because Fayetteville is a tough place to play. And after the emotional game they had this past Saturday, to get back up and go there and play in really not ideal condition, it's going to be pretty chilly up there.
It'll be in the 30s at altitude.
Yeah,
because
so,
they do call it the hill for a reason.
Hey, can I share something, guys, that I kind of noticed in the Alabama LSU game?
Go ahead.
Yeah. I think Alabama's quarterback's shoulder is hurt again.
He's not really right, is he?
Yeah, I think
no, he's not. That deep ball ain't the same.
Yeah,
and the other
he was inaccurate
much at all but run. So
yeah,
Milrow, it's just something to think about. I just know after we play Alabama, we're beat up, and we had a week off to heal, and this, that, and the other, and LSU beat up on Bama hard, and Bama beat up on LSU hard, and like you guys said, that's just something to look at.
Yeah, after the Alabama LSU game, somebody said who are the big winners in this game? It was like the big winners in this game was Ole Miss and Arkansas.
That's right.
Yeah. I mean,
both of them having to pack up and go on the road after a game like that, man. I mean, that's.
Yeah, and I know it would have been nice if Alabama could have stopped that play, that 2-point conversion play, but it doesn't really matter that they do because LSU is good. They're not a juggernaut.
No, they're not. They're not. I mean, then kind of like we talked about beforehand too, though. It's if you're going to get LSU, you better hurry up and get them because Brian Kelly's going to have them boys rolling before long.
Yeah, it's something. And Arkansas, good grief, Arkansas.
Yeah, I know.
I know you were looking at LSU and you were looking forward to this game, but good.
You can't lose that game, though.
Yeah, you can't.
Can't drop that game. It's interesting Saturday though. Kind of like I said, starting at 11 o'clock, man. That's when Ole Miss's day start for the fans, not for the team. Obviously, hopefully they're not sitting back pouring themselves into Arkansas LSU. But I mean, for any Ole Miss fan out there, you've got 2 games Saturday, and it starts at 11 o'clock, and that sucker's going to roll all the way into the evening.
Yeah, and you probably, I was thinking about it's like get them into the stadium and put in a jumbotron. I was like, no, you don't need that before Alabama.
No.
Just let the fans talk about it. I would honestly not even put the score up during the game. People can look on the phones and do what they need to do. But there's
now, if Arkansas wins, do you do it?
Right before kickoff?
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes, 100%.
100%. You announced that Glenn Waddle over the PA system. Arkansas 31, LSU 24, final from Fayetteville, and just let that place go. Because Alabama doesn't have a chance at that point, I don't think.
No, they sure don't. And how engaged do you think Alabama's going to be? I mean, this isn't a position they find themselves in very often, right? You're 3 games left in the season, and there's basically no shot. I mean, there is a shot. There's a very small path to an SEC or national championship. But, I mean, You've got guys that've got millions and millions of dollars waiting on them here in a few months.
Yeah, Bryce Young, if Alabama were to lose to Ole Miss, might shut it down.
Should shut it.
Yeah,
there's no reason for him to play again.
I don't think he's in a citrus ball type player.
No.
But it's one of those. It's a weird thing. If you look at the playoff rankings, you got Clemson. Clemson's probably not going to lose another game this year, so you're going to have to jump Clemson at some point, which they added a little bit of doubt that they would allow that to happen with Clemson still winning, because I think they want somebody between just the SEC and the Big Ten. They want another conference to participate. Now you have Oregon and USC. I think they have to play, so they're going to go. One of them's going to drop. You have Ohio State and Michigan. One of those is going to drop. Tennessee's going to be there. Georgia is probably going to be there.
Tennessee's the interesting one because they're not losing again the rest of the year.
Yeah,
they're going to finish 1.
Yeah, and anybody that tells you that Ole Miss can go 11-1 and LSU make the SEC championship and Ole Miss go to the playoff, they're wrong.
No, dead wrong. There's zero shot.
There's no chance of that happening.
No way.
We do that.
Ole Miss to go to the playoff needs to win the SEC.
Yes,
at this point.
That's the only path.
We do the 11-1. We're the 2014 version of TCU.
We're going to go down to a access bowl and beat the hell out of somebody.
Yeah.
So
that was fun.
Yeah, and then you have TCU. If TCU beats Texas, they might not win again. They might lose again this season.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah,
so that's that. So you're looking at the winner of Michigan and Ohio State, TCU, Tennessee, and Georgia, and that's your playoff, and it's settled in mid-November.
Yeah.
And you can see all that. And I think the only path and the way that you can change that, because I don't know if Tennessee – I think Tennessee can be booted out by LSU or Ole Miss. That's Tennessee's path to not making the playoffs, those two teams.
Yeah, that's it.
If Ole Miss or LSU goes to the SEC championship and wins and goes, Georgia gets the second SEC spot.
Yeah.
So Tennessee is in the Orange Bowl or the Cotton Bowl. And I hope LSU at that point is still good enough to where the Battle of the Rag is still on the table. That is a huge game this weekend, by the way. Tulane in Central Florida.
Yeah.
That is a
Tulane's got a pretty tough schedule the rest of the way, don't they? It's Central Florida. Who are those?
Cincinnati, I think, is on there.
Yeah, Cincinnati, and there's one more that's a pretty tough game for them too. They're going to earn it if they get there. That's for sure.
Yeah, their one loss that they had was to Southern Miss.
Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah, and he was like, how did that happen?
Yeah.
Good grief. Everybody that is a Georgia fan needs to be on alert for this game at Mississippi State.
You think so?
I do.
It's one of those games. I don't think Mississippi State's going to win. I think this game could get squirrely. Not all of Mississippi State squirrely. But at the start of the third quarter, Mississippi State down less than 10 points. Squirrely.
That would be interesting. Sure.
Because Georgia plays defense a certain way. And the way they play defense is exactly what Mike Leach wants to attack. And there's a lot of two-man that gets played by Georgia, and Texas Tech, Mississippi State is going to mesh concept them to death.
Yeah, well, that's just kind of what they do. They're trying to,
you're going to think you see visions of Wes Welker.
Yeah,
running across the field.
That's a trigger warning for me, man. Don't be bringing up Wes Welker. I'm a Dolphins fan, so get to trade him to the Patriots for a 7th round pick for him to kick our ass for over 10 years.
Well, he's the wide receivers coach now. He's Braylon
Sanders' coach. I know. I'm glad he finally made it back. I wish he was in a little better shape when he did. Maybe throw some pads out there on him, let him run underneath for Hill and Waddle and really open things up.
So, this week, let's see. Tomorrow, Derek, when will you be available?
sometime 4 or after, anytime then.
Okay. It'll probably be sometime around 5-ish.
Okay.
And Tom, if you want to go, we can go ahead and record that tomorrow too. I'm so busy scheduled this week. I've got 3 previews of Alabama. I've got Tide Talk Live, Locked On Bama, and the Locked On SEC guy that's going to preview this Ole Miss Bama game.
Yeah, it's almost like it's still a big game, isn't it?
Yeah. I told people, it was like, this week I'm going to go hard. So if that offends you, yeah.
It's kind of what kills me about this week. After Alabama lost, I kept hearing different media outlets, stuff like that. I was like, well, this game's lost a lot of juice. And I was like, no, it hasn't lost a lot of juice. Like, this is still a huge, huge game for Ole Miss in our season right now. We need to get up and we got to go win this thing here. It hadn't lost juice for Ole Miss. It may have for Alabama, but it hadn't for us.
This is not an insult to our fan base as a whole, but there is a segment of our fan base that wants everything to be perfect all the time. If it's not perfect, we are Ole Miss.
And God, they must be the most miserable people alive if everything's got to be perfect.
And everything they're talking. But that was the segment of the proof. Like, this Alabama game's lost some of its luster. It's like, how? Yeah,
we're still staring 11-1 in the face.
Yeah, and this game just proved to be winnable.
Yeah. And look, even after this Arkansas game Saturday, if LSU were to pull it off, I mean, Wegman looked really good for A&M against us. They ended up catching a break last week with Haynes King having to play. Florida did, and I mean, you end up going into College Station, if that place is still behind that team, those players hadn't quit, there is still a heck of a lot of talent on that team if they get up to play that game.
Well, if A&M wins Saturday, and it's absolutely massive, they win Saturday against Auburn, and they should, because Auburn in the battle.
That's
of the
another
Colts,
weird line.
Yeah, in the battle of the Colts, A&M should win that. Next is UMass. A&M should win that.
Mm-hmm.
That makes them 5-6 with LSU coming to town. A bowl game for all of those freshman players. Available.
Yeah.
All they have to do is beat LSU.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying it's not going to be hard, but it's doable. LSU,
no, it will be. But
Texas A&M's talented as hell. Evan Stewart, that dude's a special
they are.
dude.
They are. Which one's that? Wegman? Is that what you said?
Evan Stewart.
Yeah,
wide receiver number 1.
Oh. Yeah, the receiver.
But Wegman is the real deal.
Oh yeah.
I think he is. He looks so good.
It's one of these situations where everybody's throwing barbs at Texas A&M, but get them now. Go ahead and enjoy this. Yeah. Because you can see it. They're flashing all over the damn place.
They are, man. And sitting there watching that Ole Miss A&M game when they started Wakeman, I know he played some that week before too, but I was sitting there watching that game the whole time thinking, yep, here we go. Here's the Ole Miss thing again. We get the true freshman making his first start, and turns out he is just a stinking dude, just flinging it all over the place on us.
Yeah, honestly, if he'd have played quarterback against Bama, they'd have won, because I always joked about that play, that timing play they called on the last play of the game. That everybody talks about. For Haynes King to do that, he had to throw it the play before. I mean, that throwing motion is so long. But Connor Weigman could have done it. It could have worked. And man,
I know he's pretty good. I mean, there's guys all over the field with that roster, man. I mean, you know the recruiting class and all that, and I mean, there's 5 stars everywhere. If they end up getting up for that game, then that could get pretty hairy for LSU too. So they got 2 big road tests left. We just got to root for one of them to come through. But first and foremost, Ole Miss needs to take care of business.
Yeah, premiering right now on the YouTube channel. John Avery interview, 30 minutes with John Avery.
Awesome. Dude, I cannot wait to listen to that. That you talk about one. All right, so my very first favorite player at Ole Miss was T-Bone Fisher. And I don't know why, but, man, I loved me some dang T-Bone Fisher when I was growing up. Right after that was
we talked
Boris,
about
but it was T-Bone to me.
He got brought up in the interview.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, that was actually my very first autograph for like my 9th birthday or something. My mom and dad got me a signed picture of Boris Fisher, and he signed it T-Bone for me. Greatest thing I'd ever received. But after that, it was John Avery, and I actually have a signed picture of him hanging up in my house. And boy, when the Dolphins drafted him in the first round, you talk about somebody, I don't know, however old I was, 12, 13 years old, losing his mind. I was fired up.
Yeah, and he's going to do the guest analyst on the postcast this weekend.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So we're going to do that and put that up, and that should be really cool. Also, for signing day this year, since we have so few people in the chat and everybody, y'all can get a little bit of a sneak preview. We are going to be doing live streams on signings. So when Suntarine Perkins signs, we're going to do about a 15-minute live stream on it. And it'll just be 15 minutes, but you can come in and you can chat, you can pay attention to the channel. But all during the day, we're going to be doing live streams whenever a player signs. We're going to do that on Transfer Portal. We're going to start doing live streams a lot more. So that should be a lot of fun for everybody.
Yeah.
Man, I'm trying to think what's going on. Hey, this is a huge game. And don't anybody take anybody's bluster talking about this game for overconfidence, because this by far will be an upset. I mean, if Ole Miss won the game, it would be an upset.
Yeah.
But it's an upset that Ole Miss can get. It isn't the upset that was there in 2020. This is not that Alabama team. 2019. These are different dudes. And these are not the dudes that were coming into Oxford in 2014 either.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting. It's a game. This is a gettable game for Ole
Miss. It is, and like I said, it would be an upset, and I'm sure people probably hear us talk about ways Ole Miss can win this, and probably take it as hopefully they take it as confidence over cockiness, because it's definitely not a cocky thing. I mean, we've seen these Alabama teams year in and year out, and they're still a really, really, really talented team. The whole dynasty demise is pretty overblown at this point. I don't expect them to just fall off a cliff or anything.
What Feinbaum is doing right now is almost malpractice.
Yeah, I know, man. I'll bite my tongue for the family friendly part of this thing, but yeah.